Hey everybody, it's the Arthritic Toothpick with another episode here. Today we're going to be covering the 4.01 patch notes for Battlefield 2042, and it is Tuesday, so that means the missions and the tasks, whatever you want to call them, have been updated with some great new challenges so we can get past and through that battle pass. First with our missions, very easy, obviously. Tier 1, objective captures and neutralize, kills and assists, and revive supplies and heals, very easy. You know, you just get that playing the game. Tier 2, kills while playing the assault class, kills and revives, again, really from the first tier, you just keep playing the same way. And combat and objective ribbons earn. Those are also very easy, you just sit down and play the game. Tier 3, we get into some spicy, more interesting ones here. The first one is the melee kills, and it kills with throwing knives. I've never used throwing knives once in this game, but I'll tell you what, doing the takedowns I think is kind of fun, so I feel like we're going to see a lot of that as we play. I've already been killed once by a melee takedown, and I did kill somebody while I was playing earlier, but it wasn't even a regular takedown, it was just jabbing them with my knife. And the last of Tier 3 is interesting. It's damage inflicted with C5, the M18 Claymore, and the SPH explosive launcher, and also headshot kills. So obviously, those are easy. It's just going to be a bit of a spam with explosives for a while, but I mean, that's already Battlefield, so it's not really that different. And then the bonus mission is kills and assists with assault rifles. Wicked easy. I mean, I kind of wish maybe these were a little bit of a challenge. I know Tier 3 is a little bit of a challenge, but, you know. The game mode is Exodus Conquest. This is what it showed up for me. I like this. Actually, I was a little worried that the 64-player Conquest, I was never really a big fan of that. I always figured the bigger the better, the more people, the more action, especially with the size of some of these 2042 maps like Hourglass. Way too big, but I'm actually a big fan of these because they reduce the size of these maps pretty drastically. I played on No Shar Canals and Breakaway, so I'm a big fan of these new map layouts with less people. It keeps the combat very consistent and very intense throughout the game, I think, and also you don't have to move around too much to get to objective. Kind of reminds me of the old game mode from Battlefield 4 Domination, where it was just conquest on a smaller scale. Also, a side note, getting to play No Shar Canals again was pretty sick. I got to play a little bit of Caspian Border a couple days ago while I was doing Rush when Double XP was on, because personally I think Rush is the best way to capitalize on Double XP. It's incredibly easy to score a lot of points with that game mode, and I was getting 9 or 10 increases every time, Battle Pass increases every time the match ended, which was a lot of fun. So now we're going to go through the 4.01 patch notes. So I'm not going to read off all of them. I'm going to leave a link in the description for the whole patch list. I'm just going to read off some of the ones that I think are the most important. It's one of the more anticipated changes. One of the more anticipated changes comes with this patch note is the voice scrambling issue that came from Blasco's X6 device has been fixed, you know, where it would like glitch out the voice and it was really obnoxious, and I know a lot of people really hated it, which I really don't blame it. Originally I thought it was alright, but then it got pretty annoying. And also apparently I wasn't aware of this because I think I've been killed by a Claymore once in this game and I've never put one down. There was an issue with the M18 Claymore that it would trigger through walls, which, like I said, I've only been killed by a Claymore once, but I'm sure it was spectacularly frustrating for people to be killed by a Claymore through a wall. The next update is the repair tool replenish amount has been reduced to 15%. I'm not 100% sure what it was originally, but that's welcome. So now we can take down, you know, maybe the Osprey or the CAV Brawler or something like that, just a little bit easier while they're flying around or driving around and just destroying the enemy team. The Tracer Dart has gotten a buff that has a 6-second increase for its effective time from 12 to 16, and other basic changes to help the performance of the dart gun, like sometimes it wouldn't track moving targets, sometimes if you shot a vehicle that was oh no, that was an issue with the SOFLAM, excuse me, that if you targeted a unassigned vehicle, so no team was in it, both teams would get the lock on and see it. Also, apparently, the spawn, the insertion device, I'm always going to call it the spawn beacon, was not initially able to be placed within smoke, which I'm sure is very frustrating from game modes like Rush, where I feel like I'm the only person out there throwing smoke. If you're playing Rush, toss those smokes. So there were some specialist changes, which aren't major, but they're very welcome. So, like I said before, the bug fix with Blasco's X6, but also she had an issue apparently that if she was shooting an unsuppressed weapon, sometimes she wouldn't show up on the map, like as if she was shooting a suppressed gun, which is kind of crazy. Crawford's critical repair ability has been drastically nerfed from a maximum of 100% bonus repair down to only 40%. So that's pretty massive. I haven't even played Crawford, and I don't even know how that works, but that sounds kind of crazy if that's how that worked. Irish's turret can no longer intercept C5. That's pretty nice. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me, but you know. Liz's rocket will now correctly detonate on Dozer's shield. I was thinking when I was writing the script that has never happened to me. But as I thought about it, it has. I'm pretty sure I've just kind of hit it and nothing happened. Which, I mean, it's a video game, so it's not realistic. But when you shoot a ballistic shield with a rocket launcher, something should probably happen. And the field of view fix for Rouse Volatile cosmetic. So for soldiers, in general, the infantry, a big update. I'm going to put this on screen because it might sound a little confusing for how I'm going to go through it. But as a big update with the soldier health regeneration system, the soldier's health regen has been delayed or reduced from 7.5 seconds to 6.5 seconds. So you're going to start getting health a little faster, and you're going to start getting more health. So the health regeneration has been increased from 5 hit points per second to 7.5 hit points per second, which is a really great update, I think. Also, I think for like newer players, especially during the free-to-play PS5 stuff, or PlayStation stuff, you know, guys can get right back into the fight. Infantry is going to be a lot more impactful, I think, just because you can health regen a little quicker. You don't have to wait for a medic to come around and give you some health or something like that. You don't have to disengage as far from a fight because you're going to be getting health back faster, which is great. And then the weapons. The AC-9 has been nerfed, thank the Lord. The amount of bullets needed to kill has been increased from 6 bullets to 7 at a distance of 50 to 75 meters. So, not a big debuff or nerf, but, you know, still, I'll take what I can take when it comes to the KP9. I hate that thing. I hate getting killed by it. I feel like it's like running around with a little minigun in somebody's hand, and I just get killed instantly. And the amount of bullets to kill with a subsonic ammo has been increased by 1 for distances beyond 40 meters. I don't even really use the gun at all out of spite, really, because I hate the gun and it frustrates me. So I feel bad using it myself because I know I personally kind of feel it's a little bit broken. However, right now I've been using the AC-42 a lot, and I think that gun's broken. I think that they probably need to nerf that thing. I know it's a 3-round burst rifle, but it just melts people. It's an unbelievable gun. And honestly, I like using it because it kind of reminds me of a Destiny weapon, like the pulse rifles, just the way it shoots and also the way it looks. I like it, but I think it's kind of broken a little bit, so I'm maybe a little bit of a hypocrite using that gun when I think the KP9 is broken, but you know what? I'm going to use it for right now, especially to get those assault rifle kills. Wicked easy. Also, it just is a laser beam for headshots if you have the right attachments on it, and I use thermals with it too because it's just a lot easier. And the RPT got a buff to reduce the amount of bullets for a kill with heavy ammo under 30 meters by 1. So basically, it now takes 4 bullets to kill somebody under 30 meters, which is alright. I mean, that gun has got a low fire rate, very accurate, but it's got a low fire rate. So I was kind of thinking that was maybe a little broken, maybe a little overpowered, but you know, when the gun shoots that slow and you're going against, like I said, guns like the KP9, that's alright. Or the AC-40, another assault rifle, that wicked high fire rate one. May not be a great gun, but that thing shoots quick. And the EMR and the SVD, which are both portal weapons that I'm trying to get because the EMR I thought was like one of the coolest looking guns from Battlefield games of all time. But their headshot multipliers have been decreased from 2 times to 1.6. So those headshots with SVDs and EMRs are not going to be doing just a little less damage, which is nice because I have been like double tapped by, you know, SVDs. I feel like kind of often. So those are the patch notes for right now. I really like them a lot. Like I said, the KP9 buff is nice, but you know, I wish maybe they would do it a little bit more. And like I said before, I've been playing a lot of Rush. I think that's a really good game mode. I think more people should get into it. It's 32, so 16 on 16, so I was a little worried about that, but how condensed the battle and the fighting is, I think it really works well. And I think some of the maps are kind of broken when it comes to Rush, but I feel like other maps, it's pretty even, and I think that you just kind of get stomped one way or another. It's either a steamroll for the offense or an iron wall by the defense. So it's kind of just pick your poison when it comes to playing that, because a lot of times you're going to get frustrated one way or another. And I think that's just kind of how the game goes, with who's more, you know, skilled in the map and all that kind of stuff. And who knows, the people who know how to play certain parts of the map better than other people. Another issue I've seen people complain about, which I understand, but personally I don't really agree because I don't see it that much. But people complain about the crossplay, in that people who play with mouse and keyboard have a much better advantage, because there's a lot of advantages playing with mouse and keyboard, which I understand and I agree with. And then the computer people complain that the console people have too much aim assist. Personally, I haven't really seen that much of an issue. It's just like, yeah, right, I got killed and it's frustrating, so I just move on from it. But, you know, it is what it is for right now. And something I want to ask you guys, what was your guys' favorite Battlefield game, and when did you start playing it? I think it's pretty clear that my favorite Battlefield game is Battlefield 4, very closely behind Battlefield 3, and like a half a notch under Bad Company 2. All three of those games I played so much of. They're some of my favorite games. Like, literally nothing about that game, those games I would change. I had fun constantly in all of them. And the very first Battlefield game I ever played was Battlefield 1942 on the PS3. I remember watching my brother play it and thinking the game looked really cool, and I was really bad at it, but it was really awesome to play. So thanks for coming by. This is the Arthritic Toothpick, and I appreciate you coming by.